Hello there, how are you? Hope you're having a fantastic evening. So tonight I'm talking about, do you know what it takes to live a really empowered, authentic life? What does it really take to unlock that power within you? And if you're listening to this, you're probably already in a growth mindset. You're already coming from a place of learning and growing, and you have great intentions to grow. However, you may be finding that you're not perhaps as empowered or living authentically as you want to. So tonight I'm sharing my best kept secrets to empowerment, embracing your joy and your authenticity as a woman. I have spent over 2 decades in the personal growth arena, and it's really interesting. Today I was at a networking meeting and my very first counsellor was there speaking about what she does, and I shared with the group and got extremely emotional because she was my very first counsellor 20 years ago, and I was a lost soul. And I had no empowerment. I had no authenticity. Did not know who I was. And she's always had such a place in my heart because she was the very, very first person that I connected with. And yeah, it was really, really meaningful. And actually the whole group actually had tears in their eyes. I couldn't get it together. But anyway, I'm not going to go off track tonight. So what I'm talking about is all around authenticity, and from 15 years experience as a business owner, as a counsellor, and now a coach, hypnotherapist, psychotherapist, and also 2 decades of personal growth, I have identified five essential elements. It sounds like a cake, doesn't it? 5 essential elements for empowering and unlocking that power within you, because we have our power source within us. It is not outside of ourselves. It just isn't. And it's learning how to connect with that. So in this video, we're going to delve into what you need. I'm going to share some of my mistakes, and I've made some, and offer really powerful insights to help you avoid the pitfalls that I went through, because I really want to inspire you and give you some little nuggets of gold. Because you know what? Here's the exciting news. Becoming authentic and tapping into your own inner power source, it actually doesn't require you to be heartless, to be selfish, to be self-centered, or even single. You don't have to exit your relationship. You definitely don't need to worry, to overthink, and to struggle or fall into the trap of living from ego. You don't have to do any of that. Instead, it's about focusing on doing the right thing from in your inner voice, your inner power source, which it's within you. It's always been within you. And I'm hoping that this video is going to give you those nuggets of gold to support you to do this. So these secrets the secrets that are going to be revealed in this video, they can rapidly transform your approach to the relationship that you have with yourself. So you're going to learn how empowered, authentic women, they tap into who they need to become in order to have this inner power source. These women have already got this. It's not a secret. So experiencing exceptional, consistent mindset shifts to actually action and achieve is key. So moving the power and the authenticity back to yourself. It isn't outside of yourself, but consistent disciplined steps daily are going to open up that empowerment within yourself. So this video is for you. If you actually want the keys to own your own inner power source, creating an authentic, empowered life, because what are you going to be able to do with that when you've got that? It's going to fill you with happiness and fulfillment and your own inner voice. So let's dive in. If you're here, I'd love to hear that you're here. So live hashtag, and if this is the replay, hashtag replay. Would love to hear what lands, what speaks to you as we move through this video. Okay, so if you're not living authentically and you're not tapping into your power source, that inner power source within you, what does it look like? Well, I believe there are three main areas that are affected by this, which then trickles through into many others, but I'm going to talk into the three. The top three, when you're not living authentically, is you are a people pleaser, and you find it difficult to put yourself first. You live outside of yourself, people pleasing, and when we are people pleasers, it actually hurts us. Because on the outside, yes, but on the inside, in your quiet moments, or when you're trying to go to sleep, or you're feeling a bit out of alignment with yourself, it's because you are out of alignment. You're people pleasing, and so I call it the people pleasing disease. It's programming, but you've got to permanently move that, and I'll talk into that. The second thing that I see when you're not living authentically and you're not tapping into that power source, and I know firsthand for myself, anger and resentment, a heap of it, and it's not healthy to have that inside your body. You feel that in your body. It's not good. And then the last thing, when you're not living authentically and connecting with your inner power source, you lose your loss of identity. You're not aligned to you, and Maslow's law, and that tip and the hierarchy of connecting with yourself. Losing your identity is a terrible thing, because you lose your sense of self, and often you can get to a point where you don't even know what your favourite food is or your favourite colour. You don't know who you are anymore. So that can affect you on so many levels. But living not authentically and not tapping into your power source, you also, so many other things. You overthink. You're looking outside of yourself for your own happiness. You actually struggle to relax as a human being. You have tension, you have aches in your body, you project, you keep this cycle going. And you can get quite stuck, you can get fatigued, you're unmotivated, you're pretty unhappy. And that pain of loneliness, that disconnect, that emptiness, you can feel sad, you can feel hopeless. So there's many symptoms, I call them, when we are not living authentically to the beat of our own drum, where we're not tapping into our own power source. So I think I've framed it up, haven't I? So empowered, authentic women, they have this deep understanding that their power comes from within, and that they recognize that in order to tap into their own power source, they need to embark on this journey of self-discovery and personal development. And they continue to do it for the rest of their lives. You speak to any women who are into growth and into evolving, they get it. So, here are some key ways in which these women cultivate their power and their authenticity. And these are the five ways where for you to connect in with this. So we're identifying the 5 essential elements for empowering and unlocking that power within you. So what's my number 1? My number 1 is self-awareness. And so self-awareness is understanding yourself intimately. It's understanding that well, what's my values? What's my belief system? It's noticing any resentment in your body. It's noticing if you're being people-pleasing. It's noticing when you are saying yes instead of no. But because in your body it's a no. I hear this a lot in particularly long-term relationships, where for women they're not wanting sex with their partner anymore, but they're people-pleasing and they're not speaking up. And inside their body is saying no, but outside they're saying yes because they're keeping the peace and they don't want to stir things up. They don't want to upset their partner. And so having the self-awareness that you're not being authentic, the self-awareness that your body's saying no, you feel it in your body, you feel mighty uncomfortable, you feel so out of alignment, you're actually hurting yourself. So that's the first thing, self-awareness. And I talked today, I've just come off the Inner Circle group coaching, and the self-awareness of really knowing if you're in alignment with yourself, but also your purpose. That's what we talked about tonight. And your body is your gauge. It lets you know if you are in alignment. So having that self-awareness is absolutely crucial. So if this is speaking to you, I'd love to hear from you. Live hashtag, or if you're on the replay, I'll go back to the comments. I love to hear, because I need to know if I'm on the right path, if this is speaking to you. And yeah, I just love connecting. So my number 2 for the 5 elements for authenticity and empowerment is embracing your vulnerability. So embracing your vulnerability. And so vulnerability, I'll give an example. I just mentioned, I was at a networking today and I was extremely vulnerable in my network meeting, because a lot of emotion came up because I connected with the very first counsellor, and it really stirred some emotion of gratitude and just the heartfelt connection. And so the vulnerability that I had, because I was extremely emotional. So embracing vulnerability, you're not going to tell yourself that you're wrong in sharing. It's about having emotion, it's sharing that inner world, being vulnerable and allowing yourself to be seen. It takes a lot of guts. Empowered women are willing to take risks and to be authentic, and perhaps at times have their own views. And it's being vulnerable, it can be uncomfortable. It can create some unease, some dis-ease inside your body. Being vulnerable, it is actually a strength. It's not a weakness, because you are being authentic. You are listening to what is right for you. So embracing vulnerability often involves connecting with that feminine energy and being okay to be vulnerable. When we connect with that feminine energy, it's a softer, it's a more compassionate and nurturing energy. And often with vulnerability, they go hand in hand. So number 3, my 3rd element to embrace living an empowered, authentic life and to be able to connect with that inner power, it takes a mindset shift. So empowered women consistently work on developing a positive growth mindset, and they understand that their thoughts and their beliefs, they shape their reality. So they actively challenge limiting beliefs and they replace them with empowering ones. And so it's questioning, you are not your thoughts. What is streaming through constantly, you are not that. And a mindset shift actually allows you to overcome the obstacles and embrace new opportunities. Mindset shifts is something I'm constantly working on. It's when I have a thought and then I can have an emotion connected to that. And if I'm feeling, you know, a bit wobbly or sad or confused or overwhelmed, it's actually questioning my thoughts. And is what I'm believing, is it to be true? And if you're just beginning on the beginning of your journey and you want to be empowered and you've got some things you want to do in this lifetime, however, you're nervous and you perhaps the self-belief in you isn't as strong, a mindset shift is so crucial. Start with little stick-it notes on your mirror in your bathroom. You know, beliefs that I see a lot. I am not good enough. I don't belong. I'm not important. I'm not clever enough. These are all beliefs, but you have to have a mindset shift to be able to move this. So really allowing yourself to be immersed in all of it. That's just one tiny example of how you can begin to have a mindset shift. This is a whole topic. I'm just touching very lightly on the outside, and I hope something lands. If it is, I'd love to hear in the comments. Just let me know, and I love to reply. So the fourth element in this is taking ownership and owning your confidence and your self-belief. So all of this is around not seeking external validation or relying on others for them to make you feel good. Empowered women do not do that. They understand that the power to create their own reality and make the choices that align with their authentic self comes from within. So it's taking ownership of that self-belief and having a relationship with your inner world, and we call it coming home, landing, consciousness, awakening, embodiment, many different ways of putting it, but it's all about bringing it back to yourself as to how you can live more authentically and reclaiming your voice and setting boundaries is my number 5. And wow, that is a big one. Empowered women recognize the importance of actually setting boundaries and protecting their time, their energy, and their emotional well-being. They're strong in it. They're assertive in communicating their needs and priorities. And also they actually surround themselves with people who respect and support them. They're around similar women. So by consistently embracing these principles, these essential elements, empowered and authentic women, they do tap into this inner power source. You experience the mindset shifts that propel you to actually take action and for you to achieve your goals. So what are your goals? And look, for so many women, they have goals of wanting to be of service, of wanting to give back. That is what their soul calling is. You know, in embodying your power and your authenticity so that you can create a positive impact with yourself, then in the lives of others. So you sitting in this very slowly and not doing anything about it, other people are missing out because you're not actually moving what you need to move. And then what I'm trying to say is if that you have this dream inside of you and you want to live empowered and authentically, these essential elements are going to help you get there. Because some of the mistakes that I have made is I thought I could do it on my own. I actually thought that because I had this dream inside of me that I wanted to inspire women, and I you know, wanted to be the white Oprah, and I thought I could do it on my own, and I didn't surround myself with like-minded women, supportive women. A lot of it I did on my own. And no, fast forward, I don't do it on my own now, but that took me a long time to get that. Another thing that I did over the years is I was stuck in victim. And victim, it's a pity party. Victim, you will find people who you can tell your story to. But it's flipping it to victorious. It's actually changing the state. And I do that in coaching sessions to actually just flip it. And I sat in victim way too long. I also didn't recognize how powerful meditation was, and I didn't persevere. I know now it's so important, but early on in the years, look, I tried, but I found it so freaking difficult. Found it hard to sit still. To never mind, calm the monkey mind down. But it is absolutely crucial, and I wish I'd persevered earlier. So persevere with meditation, because I didn't, and of course I do now. It's one of my go-tos, and I do it absolutely regularly. I had hoped that someone else would change, like my partner or my mother or my biological mother. It was putting it all outside there. I hope they will change. And so that took me a long time to get that. That it's not about anybody else changing or having an expectation or a control or a hope or a want that somebody else will change. You have no say in that. It isn't about anybody else changing. And I wish I'd cottoned on to that a little bit earlier. And also, because I know I'm just about out of time, but also the people pleaser in me, I wish I'd cottoned on to that a little bit earlier. And also, I used to think self-care was a load of gobbly crap. Self-care is not. Self-care is one of the most crucial ingredients. And actually, because I've run out of time, I've got a great worksheet that I use in my inner circle coaching group. If you would like that, I will send that to you. Just direct message in it, and I will get the day in the life of self-care. It is a great worksheet. It's going to give you great ideas, because I haven't got time to talk about it now. But if you want to be empowered and be authentic, your self-care has to be top-notch. So look, I've only really touched on the outside. These are the keys to your own inner power. It's creating an authentic, empowered life. And, this is going to lead to abundance, success, love, creating what you desire, and particularly a purpose-driven life and a value-driven life. But you can't live those lives if you're not being authentic and if you're not empowered. So look, my wish is, I hope this has inspired you in some way, that something has landed, a little nugget of gold. That's my hope in this. I'd love to hear if it has. I love bringing these lives, and I love going to the comments afterwards and seeing what has landed. And anyway, on that note, you know what? The power of change is within you. And it's about you finding it. And I really hope this has been helpful. And I will see you next week on this Facebook Live. See ya.